Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you'll meet a brilliant storyteller, only he does it with photography. His incredible story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, there are photographers and then there are storytellers. You can go to any big box store and get pictures of your kids, but if you're really looking for art, you hire a guy like my next guest. Fred Mahusay is in studio. He's with Fredshots Photography. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm not demeaning the people who work at those big box stores, but you know, they've got a line of 50 kids and
Yes.
they just got to get them in and sit with the Easter Bunny or something like
That's
that.
right.
When you take on an assignment, what's the first thing you think about?
The first thing I think about is where have they been dissatisfied with their former photographers? We come in all shapes and sizes and all varieties, but when it comes down to it, my belief is that everybody was meant to be captured in a certain way, not the same way. Mm-hmm. So what is it about your other photos that you don't like, and how can I address those for you?
Wow. We've got your Instagram page, so let's go ahead and pull it up and just start scrolling down, because I love the variety of the work you do. And as we're scrolling down, maybe make a comment or two about what we're looking at.
Yeah, so right now it's fall football season, so I'm shooting a lot of dance team. It's also homecoming season, so there are formals in there as well. And so, you know, while my main bread and butter are headshots, I take that same principle, like, what will it take to capture you, whether you are a drill team, whether you're a football player, or whether you're a high school senior.
Yes.
And on top of that, also, if you have a senior that you want to celebrate, you know, what's going to capture the personality of your student, of your child, of your person. And so, you know, I always have a camera on hand, and I'm always looking for that opportunity. And I love posed shots because we can control everything, but action is really where it's at, because it's just a moment in time.
And do you have a sense when you're working with somebody that, you know, they're giving their traditional fake smile, but you know that they've got a great smile when they laugh?
Absolutely.
So is there art to working with them to capture their essence?
Yes, sir. I believe that every person has worth and value. So, you know, when we first meet, we're just talking, just regular folks, and I'm watching their personality in their face and in their expression. Mm. And then when they get in front of the camera, you know, we all pretty much grew up with it, you know, grip and grin, stand here, say cheese, you know, and, you know, a lot of people hit that because that's what we've been trained to do.
Yeah.
But I've already seen their personality. And so I believe through conversation, actually genuinely getting to know somebody, then they relax, they stop thinking about the photo process, and now we can actually capture them the way they're meant to be captured.
Let's talk to the do-it-yourselfers out there, the ones that, you know, they say, well, I've got an iPhone, I can take my own pictures, and I can
Absolutely.
get my wife to take the pictures. Why do you want to do it with a professional?
You know, I can change the oil in my car. I probably can't do it as well as a professional. I can cook my own meal, but we all, you know, if I cook steak versus I go to a 5-star restaurant and they prepare the meal, you know, there is a great difference. And when it comes down to it, there are certain things, you know, our cell phones are great devices. However, the quality of the optics, the quality of the lighting, someone, you know, who isn't your extended arm,
yes,
you know, is really what you want, because you want to put your best foot forward. Then you want to invest in yourself, and that's when you hire a professional photographer.
Are you there when you're presenting the final product to them? I mean, do you get to see the big
Yes.
reveal?
Oh, absolutely. I love that part because I shoot digitally, so as we're taking the pictures in our studio or even on location, I've got my laptop and a large 30-inch monitor, and they can see what happens when someone who is more interested in them than in the sale, the results. And of course, the number one thing I hear is that, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. And so, I listen to those things and we address those immediately. And if they're like, well, my hair is out of place or I don't like, my smile and it's like, okay, let's go back and shoot again because it's digital. And so they have real-time results of what they can expect. So, there's no surprise, none of that stuff, that as soon as we take the pictures, we review, and my goal is that 100% customer satisfaction.
Wow, and I know your faith is very important to you, and you kind of hinted at it at the beginning of the interview that you're trying to capture their essence. We're all God's creatures.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about your faith and the role it plays in what you do.
Oh man, I can do this without being emotional, right? So I'm probably not. I believe that we are all called to do something, that every person has worth and value. And for me, when I pick up that camera and the number of times that, especially with women, because I do believe that, in general, they feel less than unless, they're wearing this or they've got that or any of those things. And, I'll tell them, like, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And the number of women that have just outright just broken down and cried like I am now, that I never saw myself as beautiful. I never thought that I could be, attractive. And so to see that, I think it's just amazing.
Wow, Fred, that's so powerful. Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I'm glad that people can hear your heart. And I'm going to give you a chance to compose yourself because we found a great behind the scenes video. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
Hey, Fred with Fredshots Photography here today to capture exactly what it takes to get the official high school yearbook photo. But today, I'm not Fred with Fredshots. Today, I'm just Dad hanging with my man Sam. Worth $1 million grand, working that plan to graduate in 2020.
That was really cool. And now you were telling me this is 5 years old.
Yes, sir. That was 2019 because he graduated in 2020.
Yes.
And so it was just one of those things where, as a photographer, I'm always doing something for someone else, and I thought it's time for me to do something for myself, because that was our younger son, and so I was like, I need to capture this, and that's what became of it.
That's awesome. So you do video and still photography?
Yes, sir. I do both.
Wow, that's great. Well, in the final minute or so, why don't you talk to the camera on the left and talk about the person who is watching this and says to himself or herself, I just think I found my photographer.
Well, we would love to be able to serve you. When it comes to your brand, your image, as I said before, I do believe that every person was made with worth and value, and that's you. And so when it comes down to it, what do you think about it's time to update my image? I know that we've all got headshots out there and we've all paid good money for them, but they only have a certain amount of shelf life. And I loved the independent business owner. I've served everyone from a solopreneur all the way up to large companies like IBM, AIG, and other great companies. Whether you come to our studio or we make it very convenient and come to your office, it's easily as scheduling us in about 30 minutes. We can have your headshot done and you'll know exactly what you're getting.
Wow, outstanding segment, and thank you for sharing your heart with the audience.
Thank you.
We're going to end with his website, which is fredshots.com, the great Fred Mahusay. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.